Hello children, welcome back to yet another video lesson in English. This time we will deal with a lesson from your supplementary textbook, A Pact with the Sun. The name of our lesson is The Friendly Mongoose, which is a story taken from the Panchatantra tales. The Panchatantra means 5 books. It is possibly the oldest surviving collection of Indian fables. Fables means stories in which animals and birds are coming as characters, and such stories will convey a moral also. These Panchatantra stories have been written around 200 BC by Pandit Vishnu Sharma, who was a Hindu scholar. This book is called a Nidhi Shastra, which means book that imparts wisdom on the correct conduct in life. In this story, the friendly mongoose, it shows the tendency of humans to jump to conclusions hurriedly and how this tendency will lead to problems in life. And in order to convey such a moral, the story depicts a farmer's family and they have adopted a mongoose as their pet. Usually, when we tell pet animals, we will remember about some cat, dogs, or something. But here, the pet animal is a mongoose. Do you all know what is a mongoose? You can see it here. Despite the fascinating reputation for attacking venomous snakes, these mongoose are non-aggressive towards human beings also. So that the farmer family has adopted a mongoose as their pet animal. So let's go to the story. You can see the textual portion here and you can listen to very carefully to each line by line explanation. Okay, let's go to the story. Once a farmer and his wife lived in a village with their small son. They loved him very much. We must have a pet, the farmer said to his wife one day. Once upon a time, there was a farmer family who lived very happily. And once the farmer remarked to his wife that we need a pet animal. In our household, such things may happen. Sometimes our father may tell to our mother, why don't we take a small puppy as a pet? Like that, the farmer suggested to his wife, why can't they get a pet animal? Okay, let's continue. When our son grows up, he will be he will need a companion. This pet will be our son's companion. His wife liked the idea. Okay, so the farmer suggested, suppose we get a pet animal, surely that pet animal will be the companion of our son. So what do you mean by companion? You can see it here. Companion means friend. One evening, the farmer brought with him a tiny mongoose. The farmer one day brought a small mongoose. So the pet animal is a mongoose. It's a baby mongoose, said his wife, but will soon be fully grown. He will be a friend to our son. So the farmer's wife commented, surely this will be a grown up one, and surely it will be a helpful one. It will be a friend to our son. So move to the next. Both the baby and the mongoose grew. In 5 or 6 months, the mongoose had grown to its full size. So both the child and the mongoose started to grow. And in about 5 or 6 months, the mongoose had grown to its full size. A lovely animal. Here, lovely means beautiful. A beautiful animal, that's the mongoose, with two shining black eyes and a bushy tail. The tail of the mongoose was like a bush. It was pointed and shaped like a brush. It had a bushy tail. The farmer's son was still a baby in the cradle. So, do you know what is a cradle? The place we keep the babies there. We use it to cradle or rock the babies to sleep. The farmer's son was still a baby in the cradle, sleeping and crying alternatively. The child is always sleeping and crying. That's the thing usually the children do, small kids do. Let's move to the next para. One day, the farmer's wife wanted to go to the market. She fed the baby and rocked him to sleep in his little cradle. So, what happened? One day, the farmer's wife was in need to go to the market to buy something. So, what happened? She fed the baby. That means she had given some food to the baby and rocked him to sleep in his little cradle. Here, rocked means that action of what to do to swing. She swung the cradle and made the child sleep. Then, picking up the basket, she said to her husband, I am off to the bazaar. The baby is sleeping. Keep an eye on him. Frankly, I don't like to leave the child alone with the mongoose. We all know mothers are more careful, they are more caring, isn't it? So, when she started to go to the market, she made a comment to her husband, that means to the farmer, that she is leaving to market. So, keep an eye on the child. So, take care of the child. And again, she suggested or she just commented that she is not interested to leave this child along with the mongoose. Anyway, mongoose is a wild animal, isn't it? However friendly, however tame it is, she is not interested to keep the child along with the mongoose. So, next para. You needn't be afraid, said the farmer. The mongoose is a friendly animal. It is as sweet as our baby, and they are the best of friends, you know. The farmer commented that no need to worry. The baby and the mongoose are very good friends. So, dear wife, no need to worry. Mongoose will take care of the child. Or no need to afraid. He will be safe here. That's the comment made by the farmer. Next para. The wife went away, and the farmer, having nothing to do in the house, decided to go out and take a look at his fields. Not far away. He ran to some friends on the way back and didn't return for quite some time. So, what happened? The farmer didn't have any work to do at home, and so he felt boring, and he has decided to just go out and look at his field, which is not far away. Okay, he decided to step to his field, which is nearby only. But that time he met some of his friends and he started to talk with them and he spent some time there and he forgot about the child at home. Next para. The farmer's wife finished her shopping and came back home with a basket of groceries. So what happened? The farmer's wife, she returned from market after buying some vegetables and all that. She saw the mongoose sitting outside as if waiting for her. On seeing her, he ran to welcome her as a customary. So what happened? When farmer's wife reached home, this mongoose was sitting in front as if he was waiting for her to come. And the mongoose ran to the farmer's wife. It was a customary thing. What do you mean by customary? Usual thing. It's a custom or it's a usual thing. When farmer or his wife return home, this mongoose will wait for them. The farmer's wife took one look at the mongoose and screamed. Blood, she cried. So what happened? When she looked at the mongoose, she was frightened and she cried loud. The face and paws of the mongoose were smeared with blood. Why she cried loud? Because the face and the paw means the leg part, the inner part of its leg is covered with or smeared. Smeared means it is completely applied with blood, covered with blood. So something might have happened and she was afraid and she started to cry loud. You wicked animal, you have killed my baby. So she cried aloud, you are a wicked animal. You are an evil animal. You killed my baby. She screamed hysterically. Hysterically means like a mad woman. She started to shout. She was blind with rage. That means she was that much angry. She was that much angry. Rage means angry. And with all her strength, brought down the heavy basket full of groceries on the blood smeared mongoose and ran inside to the child's cradle. What happened? So, before entering the house, she put the entire basket having the groceries and all that onto the mongoose and she ran inside to the child's cradle. She wanted to know what might have happened. Next para, the concluding para, the last para. The baby was fast asleep when the farmer's wife entered the house. The baby was fast asleep without knowing anything. The baby is sleeping there. But on the floor lay a black snake, torn and bleeding. In a flash, she realized what had happened. Now only the farmer's wife understood what might have happened. On the floor, she saw a black snake which was torn into pieces and the snake was bleeding. In a sudden moment, she understood what might have happened. She ran out looking for the mongoose. Oh, you saved my child. You killed the snake. What have I done? Now only she repented or she understood her mistake. Now she is telling that, oh, poor mongoose, you saved my child from that snake. You killed the snake. But what I have done? What I have done to you, poor mongoose? She tried touching the mongoose, who lay dead and still, unaware of her sobbing. But her sad, her weeping, it was of no use. What is the situation now? The mongoose lay dead and still unaware of her sobbing. The mongoose is not aware. The mongoose is not knowing about her sadness. The farmer's wife, who had acted hastily and rashly, stared long at the dead mongoose. The farmer's wife, who had acted very fast and in a very rash manner, careless manner. Rashly means that carelessly, she behaved very carelessly without thinking twice what might have happened. Now she is just stared. Stared means looking fixedly at the dead mongoose. Then she heard the baby crying. Wiping her tears, she went in to feed the child. So what happened? That time she heard the child crying from inside, and so she went inside just to give food to the child. So what message does this story gives you? The moral of the story, friendly mongoose, is look before you leap. That means we have to think twice or thrice before doing anything. The smart thinking is vital, or the smart thinking is very important because it will help you to avoid various problems, and also it reduces the possibility of facing complex problems. So children, never behave like the farmer's wife. We have to rethink before taking any final decision. Thank you.